I know, I'm late. I've been away. It's been months since my last video. Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. No. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. But anyways, the reason I've been away was mainly because I've been knocking out college. I finally got my bachelor's. Your boy got a bachelor's. So I'm gonna use that to actually get your money and your mind right as well. So, Money Mastermind is back. But today we're gonna talk about something that I've been thinking about the past few weeks at least. The conditions of the real estate market, especially with the fact that a lot of people I know at work are talking about that. So stay tuned. So, my concern with the real estate market is actually twofold. The first is mainly because of interest rates. Now, you have interest rates sitting at 2 to 3% for prime rates. Money Mastermind, what's a prime rate? Prime rate just means that it is the rate that you're most likely going to get, mainly because you have a very good credit score. That's pretty much it. So, if you have a 840 or maybe even an 800, you'll most likely get a 2 to 3% interest rate. That's pretty much what it is. Now, why is that a big concern? You got a lot of people that are making comparisons towards the 2008 financial crisis, and I don't blame them. Mainly because that we're undergoing government-induced shutdowns, and we're also going through a coronavirus that has pretty much sucked the amount of money away from the average American. So, say for instance, obviously, if you were making like $4,000 a month and your business is shut down, or even your job was shut down, you're not even making enough money. And obviously, the stimulus check that comes from Congress isn't going to cover every single expense that you get. So what do? Now, there are differences. Back in 2008, the issue was actually subprime mortgage ARMs, which is adjustable rate mortgages. They had these teaser rate mortgages, which was like 0%, 1%, 2% interest. And then as soon as 2 years went by, they jacked up the interest rates. Mainly because we had a lot of delinquencies, and the supply of housing was actually decreasing. By the way, these are really good. Sponsor me, Bucked Up Energy. This is really good. But anyways, the reason being is that we have a problem. What is this problem? People aren't able to pay. So it's not just the ARMs that are the problem. It's going into the fixed rate mortgages as well. Mainly because people can't afford to pay their mortgages yet. They're literally trying to get money to help keep their house, or even get groceries. That's literally the problem. The second problem I have is this. It's a seller's market. Now, what a seller's market essentially means is that sellers are able to get higher prices for the security or house that they have than was previously. Mainly because of conditions. So, mainly because people are willing to buy houses at very low interest rates. It's a seller's market. Because there's a lot more buyers now who are willing to pay whatever amounts of money that they can get. So the sellers are obviously going to sell at a premium. You could have a security that sells for $200,000 in a normal economy and actually increase to approximately $260,000, which is approximately a 30% increase in value. It's concerning. Now, why is it concerning? It depends on your goal. So if you're the type of person that wants to live in the house for the rest of your days, die there, go buy the house. Do it. You will never get as low interest rates as you can before, unless we get another economic crisis. Now, if your goal is rental properties or even moving to another location, you have to consider different circumstances, tax and regulations, economic conditions, trends, demographics of the location, laws and regulations. Now, obviously, economic conditions are crap right now. They're crap. Mainly because people aren't getting income. So what do you think is going to happen with the rental properties? You have to account for that. You have to account for the fact that, well, they're not going to be able to pay because they don't have a job. So that restricts the supply of renters. You also have to consider property taxes. What if the property tax hikes from 0.85% to 1%? Account for that. Now, you also have to account for appreciation. Now, mind you, rental investments actually get a lot more appreciation than homes, like residential homes that actually people are living in and not producing income for. Mainly because there's a proven source of income coming from the rental property. Now, I know I said this, I had two, there's a third one. The third one is, it's actually due to the fact that a lot of people misconstrue the idea of a house. You will get a lot of financial advisors and a lot of people that think they know better who say that a house is an asset. It's not. It is dependent on a few things. So say, for instance, you're living in that house as yourself. You're living it by yourself. It is a liability. Mainly because you have to pay for the upkeep, as well as pay to live in the house, as well as pay a debt to live in the house. It is a liability. Get that in your head, financial advisors. It is a liability. It only becomes an asset when income and cash flow actually supersede the expenses and the liabilities and upkeep of the property. That's the only time a house or property can become an asset. The main reason why is, say for instance this. You have $1,000 mortgage. You don't upkeep it, you don't maintain it, you don't put improvements on it, you don't have a property manager, you don't do this or that. You just have the mortgage. If you have two renters that are living at $400, you still have to pay a $200 liability. You still have to pay the mortgage. It is still a liability. Now, if you have people that are paying $550 a month, two people paying $550 a month for a $1,000 mortgage, you get $100 as cash flow. Then it becomes an asset. Because you're getting money off of it. An asset means you get money from it. A liability means you don't get money from it. You give money for it. Now, I know some financial advisors are going to say, oh, well, what about the appreciation of the property? Here's the problem with that. Appreciation is not guaranteed. It's not. It is just a speculative investment, at least. if your investment makes it, if your house makes appreciation, good on you. You made money off of it. But there are times that people had to sell their houses at a loss. Take, for instance, the 2008 financial crisis. Take, for instance, the bank. They had to sell their properties at a loss. Houses are not an asset. They only become an asset when you make capital gains off of it, or you make passive income off of it. That's the only time a house can become an asset. Keep that in mind. The bank only considers it an asset when it's actually making money off of it. And it makes money off of it from mortgage and from the interest. That's the only reason why a bank declares a property as an asset. It becomes a liability when they have to sell it for a loss. You have to take the same approach with property values. You have to take the same approach with homes and properties, as well as rental properties such as apartments, condos, single-family homes, multifamily homes, or even say, for instance, a trailer. You have to take that same approach. It does not become an asset unless you make money off of it. The bank records it as an asset, you record it as a liability. Now, when you start making money off of it, then you can record it as an asset. But until then, you record it as a liability and nothing more. I have to curb stomp this into people, mainly because I actually took a real estate class. They somehow think houses are an asset. They only become an asset when you make cash flow, when you make money off of it. That's enough of me curb stomping it. Keep in mind that you have to watch your money real good, especially with property values. They're illiquid as heck. Illiquid. Because it will be years, possibly years, maybe even a decade, before you see a decent return on houses. Now, obviously, you can increase the return on investment on your property, on your properties. Whether you're trading them, whether you're being speculative, whether you're fixing them up and selling them, or even whether you're doing a retail investment or rental investment. But keep these things in mind, and you will succeed in the property business. I'm already looking at a home. I mean, I'm looking at it just so that I can make some rental income. Will I make the move? Possibly, possibly not. Depends. But keep your goals in mind. Keep these tips in mind. And you will make money off of the real estate market. Anyways, that's enough from me. Like, comment, subscribe as always. I'm gonna start trying to push this channel a lot more, because I know I've been lazy on it, but this is gonna be something that I'm gonna do more regularly, because financial literacy is at a high. Financial illiteracy is at a high. We need to start educating the young folk, as well as the old folk, because some old folk don't know how to manage their money. Some young folk definitely don't know how to manage their money. So I serve serve in that way to help people. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe as always, share with people who could benefit off of this, and I'll see you in the next video.